I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys.
No one expected it to end like this. An Emmy-winning actor, known for playing steady, trustworthy characters on television, quietly turned himself in to the police. At the same time, less than an hour later, heavily armed federal agents forced their way into his home, thousands of miles away. That contrast alone was enough to make people stop scrolling. And once the details started coming out, the story only became more unsettling. Timothy Busfield surrendered to authorities in New Mexico after an arrest warrant was issued, accusing him of inappropriate conduct involving minors. There was no dramatic chase, no public standoff, just Busfield walking into custody days after the allegations became public and hours after reports claimed U.S. Marshals were assisting in locating him. In a video recorded at his attorney's office, Busfield didn't hesitate to deny everything. He called the accusations lies, said he did nothing wrong, and promised to fight until he was cleared. According to him, once he learned about the warrant, he immediately hired legal counsel, got into a car, and drove nearly 2,000 miles to face the charges head-on. But that was only the beginning, because while Busfield was surrendering in Albuquerque, federal agents were moving in on his property in upstate New York. Reports say officers from a fugitive task force rammed through the front door, searched the home, an RV, and nearby structures, then left without taking anything. No arrest, no announcement. Just a quiet, forceful search that raised even more questions about what investigators were looking for. So what exactly led to this point? According to court documents, the allegations involved two brothers who worked as child actors on the Fox drama The Cleaning Lady, where Busfield served as a director. Reports claim the alleged behavior occurred over a period stretching from late 2022 into 2024. The case reportedly escalated after a physician contacted authorities following a medical examination, triggering a formal investigation. From there, multiple agencies became involved. The children's mother later reported concerns to Child Protective Services. An anonymous complaint was also submitted through a union hotline, alleging inappropriate physical contact on set. All of this eventually led to criminal charges being filed. Busfield's legal team, however, paints a very different picture. His attorney insists the claims are false and driven by personal motives rather than evidence. According to the defense, an earlier independent investigation commissioned by Warner Brothers found no corroboration for the allegations. The investigator stated that, based on interviews and witness statements, there was no proof that Busfield was ever alone with the minors or engaged in improper behavior. The defense has also pointed to what they describe as a possible revenge angle, suggesting that accusations surfaced after the children were not brought back for a later season of the show. They argue that prior reviews found no wrongdoing and that the current charges contradict those earlier conclusions. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers and Fox have released statements emphasizing that they take the safety of minors seriously and are cooperating fully with law enforcement. One scheduled television appearance featuring Busfield has already been shelved, signaling how quickly the fallout is spreading. And then there's the personal side of this story. As the allegations became public, Busfield's wife, actress Melissa Gilbert, quietly deleted her Instagram account. No statement. No explanation. Her publicist later clarified that she would not be commenting on the case and would instead focus on supporting her family through what was described as an incredibly difficult moment. For fans, that silence spoke volumes. Busfield built his career on being a familiar, reliable presence, from 30-something to The West Wing to Field of Dreams. For decades, his name carried trust. Now, it's caught between serious accusations, public denials, and a legal process that's only just beginning. What makes this case especially complicated is the gap between internal investigations and criminal charges. One concluded there was no evidence. The other resulted in arrest warrants. And sitting between those two outcomes is a public left trying to make sense of what's real, what's alleged, and what still hasn't come out. Busfield maintains he'll be cleared. Prosecutors believe they have enough to move forward. And until the courts decide, his legacy hangs in an uncomfortable limbo, reshaped not by a verdict, but by uncertainty. Because in situations like this, the truth doesn't arrive all at once. It unfolds slowly, painfully, and often in ways no one expects,